CGTN headquarters in Beijing. This is The Hub with Wang Guan.
Greetings and happy Chinese New Year. Happy Lunar New Year to all of you. I'm Wang Guan in Beijing. As Year of the Dragon or Longlian heralds the Chinese New Year, on behalf of my whole team, I extend our heartfelt wishes for good health and robust well-being to every one of you. Now, to usher in the new year, the Year of the Dragon, what better way to do it than to invest in your health? So today I'm catching up with an old friend who's doing just that. Her job is to help the Chinese and expats alike getting fitter. You've been in China, this is year what? 12, 10, 11?
Since 2011, I think it's 12 and a half years right now. Time flies.
How did you like your China experience overall?
Oh, I love it. I think China so far has become like a second home to me. I've often asked the question, like, where's better? You know, from taxi drivers. And when you talk to regular Chinese people on the street, like, where is it better? You've been to China so long, where is it like home or here? So it's just different experience. So both are home for me.
What touched you? What was the moment that made you be like, wow, I wanted to be staying in this country, I want to explore this country more? Was it a person or a thing? Or?
I think it's people in general. It's different culture, different place. My hometown is not very big, so we don't have many.
Siberia.
You know, like sky. Yes, you know, it's a very simple town with a very nice slow pace. And when you come to a big city, Tianjin for me is, you know, it looked very different, very green, very clean, and people were very welcoming, and everything was so convenient, and everybody was very helpful.
This is apparently one of your favorite workout, one of my favorite workout.
Yes.
Why do you think people love it?
I always say the same thing. I know many studios, many gyms have a community now. So we always also try to push that way, like to create connections between people so they come back, not for the just the workout and then leave. So we give people half an hour break time between the classes so they can talk. People find friends here, people share. Sometimes you listen to people's problems, sometimes they share each other's problem, and then it become like a therapeutic place.
What did that word?
Therapeutic, like psychology kind of,
Very
you know,
nice.
Psychological place where you can reload and reset yourself for the day.
For not just for expats, but for Chinese too.
Yes,
I see a lot of
for
Chinese
everyone.
making friends with expats talking amongst themselves, Chinese amongst themselves.
Like,
it's a very mixed group.
Everybody's a kind of friend here.
For the Lunar New Year, for the Chinese New Year, the Year of the Dragon, many people have New Year resolutions.
Yeah.
You think fitness should be one of them?
Definitely, yes.
But specifically how, for those who may not necessarily had the habit of working out, or those who work out with less intensity, what would you want to say to them?
I mean, fitness it's a big part of wealth. You will definitely feel happier after the workout, and when you don't feel like working out, but you put the shoes on and put the clothes on, and then you get out, you finish the workout, and then you feel better after all, much happier, you know. It can remove it, at least it can keep you in that healthy space.
All right, Katie, we're celebrating the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, the Spring Festival, however you call it. What do you think the Year of the Dragon may bring us, and what do you think a dragon signifies? Yes.
When I think about a dragon, I always think about China, because this is something that you can see everywhere here, but this is power, it's pride, discipline, you know, adventure. When you definitely, if you say you're going to do something, you will do it.
How are you going to celebrate the Lunar New Year? Do you make dumplings?
Yes, we try to do it every year with my Chinese friends. We make our own style dumplings. We buy the pure, you know,
the dough.
The dough.
Yeah.
And then we make different kind of fillings, Nutella. We like mix all the culture together.
So what's your favorite filling?
If it's not traditional one, I like the sweet one with Nutella and banana. We did and we boiled it, but it was really good. But other than that, the beef one. And if I order, I like the celery with egg. Celery.
鸡蛋韭菜鸡蛋
Yes.
韭菜鸡蛋 Do you watch CCTV's Lunar New Year Gala?
Yes.
You do?
I do. Almost every year. I like the comedy, the stand-up thing that they sing, the performance. It's beautiful. I wish one day I can visit it by person, so maybe I can.
Oh, yeah. Okay, make her dream come true.
Yeah.
Our friends at CCTV. The year 2024 begins with a spirit of inclusiveness as China welcomes foreign guests with open arms. From last December, China resumed or implemented its visa-free policy for many European countries, including France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Spain. Moreover, Singapore and China agreed to grant visa-free access to each other's travelers. With the Lunar New Year approaching, a large number of Chinese tourists are expected to travel abroad. And at the same time, we expect more foreign friends in China for the festive season. And it's not just about tourism, it's also about building lasting people-to-people bonding. As people travel across borders, some decide to settle down. This year, China and France celebrate their 60-year relations. And in today's hub, we're joined by two French gentlemen who've made China their home. I'll be talking to Charles Benzacon. He's a founder of the French House of Urumqi in Xinjiang. And also to Michael Vuides. He's the director of the International Relations Department at the Asia Silk Road Group. We'll also be having Angela Lee, third-year student at the London School of Economics and Political Science and chief director of the LSE China Development Forum, joining us from London. So we're celebrating the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, and in China's lunar calendar, the 12 signs of the zodiac are represented by 12 animals or animal-like totems. Charles, let me go to you first. For this year, it is a distinctive Chinese totem, the dragon, or the loon, as an increasing number of people call it. As an expat living in China, what are your impressions of the Chinese New Year and this very unique animal, the dragon, and its symbolism? How do you look at it?
Well, I think the Dragon Year, of course, is quite special. It's quite a special year. I would say that it's even more special for me because, like, my very first Chinese Spring Festival celebrated in China already was celebrating the Dragon Year because I arrived a little bit more than 12 years ago in China. In Western countries, the dragon is not always well seen, you know, in stories,
sure.
in tales, in legends. You know, the knight have to go fight the dragon, but the dragon always is this very smart, wise animal. Always
vicious,
bringer
right?
of richness. So indeed, in China, we see it in a different way, in the way I understand the way Chinese people see the dragon. It represents the power of the emperor in antiquity, and also luck, wisdom. So I think this year, 2024, will be the year to make important decisions and fight for our goals.
All right, the year to make decisions and fight for our goals. I love it. Michael, what do you think? I mean, how do you look at the symbolism of the dragon? And to be honest, what do you think this year the dragon or the loon will bring us?
Well, just like Charles said, I think the dragon is the symbol of power, of strength, but also wisdom. I think it's the most powerful animal of the zodiac, the most significant maybe in Chinese culture.
Let me turn to Angela. Hi, Angela. It's great to see you. You are in London right now, and you come from Shandong, where I come from. How would you explain the significance, the importance of the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year, to your friends in Great Britain, and this year in particular, the Year of the Dragon? What would you tell them what this year is all about?
I guess for Chinese New Year, as you know, an overseas Chinese student living abroad in a place that doesn't normally observe the Lunar New Year on a majority basis, so from this vantage point, it's very interesting to see how the expat community of overseas Chinese students celebrate Chinese New Year, and what we kind of put it into a microcosm of celebrations. So keeping the essence of this festive spirit with limited resources. So that can be, you know, a potluck dinner with homemade meals, homemade dumplings. But then also, I think we're shouldering the responsibility of bringing the festive joy, but also the rich tradition, the rich history, the philosophy of Chinese New Year and Chinese culture to our friends, to our peers who may not celebrate the Chinese New Year. So I think it's both an intersection of cultural diversity, but also an inclusive upbringing.
Charles, You are the only French teaching your native language in Xinjiang, or one of the very few, should I add. And you've been residing there for quite a number of years, managing your own company and then interacting with locals, teaching them the French language, which is a beautiful language, by the way. Why did you choose Xinjiang to start with, and what potential did you see in Xinjiang?
So, well, indeed, I am the only French person teaching French in Xinjiang. I'm not even sure there are other French in all of Xinjiang at the moment, actually. We chose Xinjiang, my wife and I, we opened the company. We chose Xinjiang after a market survey. We, of course, checked the market potential of Xinjiang. And actually, what we should clarify is that my master degree major about French teaching was actually to provide tailor-made training to fulfill the needs of companies' employees who are going to work with French speakers or in the French environments. And so this is why, after this market survey, we found out that quite a number of companies, Xinjiangese companies, we're having this kind of business in Africa or in other French-speaking countries. And so this is how we chose Xinjiang to establish our company.
Very good, very good. And we know that you are the founder of the French House of Lumuqi, and it provides custom French language and culture training to local companies, as you just explained. How is your company, in your opinion, promoting economic, trade, and cultural exchanges with people in French-speaking countries? Are there any interesting stories to tell?
Well, the first thing we could mention is that something actually very interesting, because we didn't think of this, but we had a lot more demand that we suspected. We had from a catering industry, like a bakery shop, restaurants. We also had sports centers who reached us, like for fencing teachers, as well as dance teachers, like ballet dancing. So actually, there were a lot more people interested in this French training than we expected. I think it's my students who are quite impressive. Most of my students are already working in domains like engineering, architecture. I have had like plane pilots. I don't know how to express this major. Medical studies. Even have lawyers, you name it, all kind of major. And their major and work are so much more harder than mine. As a teacher, I only give them tools then to achieve their projects. And so I like to believe that every time one of them can go abroad to work and study, that thanks to the training I provided them, among other things, of course, it's also strengthened the ties between China and those countries.
Let's talk about your company, Michael, that is actually providing consulting services, the Asia Silk Road Group, to companies looking to enter the Chinese market. Of course, we had this visa-free policy exemption for some 7-8 European countries. How do you think these policies will shape the year 2024 in terms of foreign investment and traveling to China?
This is a massive change, a massive shift in the economy, for the market, for the world, not just for China, for the world, because China being the country that it is, with a massive market, massive landmass, massive economy. So this is the first time that such a change happens, where people can come to China without a visa. And I think one very important thing to note is that, Western people know China, okay? They admire China, but there is this part of mystery regarding China, because the country is so old, with maybe 5,000 years of history. So clearly it's impossible to know everything. The country is also very big, very diverse, okay, with so many ethnicities. I think it's 56. Western people don't really know so much about China, okay? And this visa-free policy will change everything for the better. I have had so many people contacting me in the past few weeks, in the past few months, because of this policy. The increase is huge. It's close to 100%. People contacting me in the past few months. So I think the results will be remarkable for China, for the economy, for tourism, cultural exchanges now with the 60 years anniversary, the Olympics, the Belt and Road Initiative, everything put together will produce a huge change for the better.
Let's hope it will change for the better. Angela, you're a third-year student studying in London. Last time we talked, you said explaining China to your expat friends, to the British, the Americans, the Western friends. You see that as your mandate. But sometimes do you feel it is an uphill battle, of course, while having fun doing it?
China is a vast country. It has a vast history. It has a longue durée history. If we study China, I do IR in history. When we study China, it's always about looking back to the roots. And so sometimes it could be a bit difficult for people who are growing up in the Western kind of environment. You're accustomed to this Enlightenment ideas about these so-called universalist values and frameworks. So sometimes it can be a bit hard to catch the Chinese philosophy, its history and culture of Confucianism and Taoism. So whenever I try to explain these concepts to them, I think it's making parallels with a lot of the shared understandings that we have.
Charles, let's talk about China-France relations. We're celebrating the 60th anniversary of our diplomatic relations. France was among the first countries in Western Europe to recognize the People's Republic of China. How do you foresee this year going for both of our countries? Because we enjoy thoroughly good relations if you compare China's relations with other Western countries.
About those relations, I do believe that people are everything in such relations. And so it will also be our job as French nationals being in China or Chinese national being in France to, I would not say advertise, but just to share our stories and to go toward local people and to understand better their country. I think our leaders take decisions, which of course is our hard and our job as representative of our country. But I would dare to quote Mr. President Xi and saying that country is the people as people are the country. And so I really like this sentence because I share this opinion. I really think we are representative of our own countries. And so it is our job to make others understand more about us and to go towards them too, to really understand more about each other. It's that simple.
All right, Michael, the year 2024 is also the year of China-France Year of Culture and Tourism. Do you have any plans to leverage this opportunity perhaps to help both sides understand each other more?
Yes, of course. We are actively working with my company to promote more exchanges. Of course, we have the Olympics coming. Both Macron and President Xi Jinping made short speeches to start the festivities for the 60 years anniversary. So I think we will see so many events and celebrations happening this year, including with the Olympics. I believe China will play a special role in the Olympics because of the anniversary. So it's definitely something to look forward to.
Very good, very good. Finally, any Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year wishes for our viewers from around the world watching this program? Angela, would I start with you?
Yeah, of course. Well, as we stand on the cusp of Chinese New Year, I wish everyone who's in your laptops or phones or tablets viewing this right now, wherever you may be, a very happy Chinese New Year. I hope this is a time that we can, recall the familial warmth, togetherness, and a lot of universalist values of having prosperity, lots of wealth, and happiness. So, happy Chinese New Year! 新年快乐!
Very good. Charles?
I would not have said it better than Angela, indeed. I would only say 新年快乐, 龙年大吉, 万事如意.
龙年大吉, 龙年大吉. Michael, what about you?
新年快乐, everyone. I wish you all the best and believe in the strength of the dragon that will make your dreams come true this year.
People from other countries living in China are not just sharing their own knowledge and experience, but they're also diving deep into the traditional Chinese culture. Now let's welcome Joe Walker, a German friend who's actually studying acupuncture in China's Henan province. What's behind the passion of a young man from Europe for traditional Chinese medicine, kung fu, and calligraphy? Joe Michael Walker is immensely popular on China's short video platform Douyin. He makes content in Henan dialect with a twist.
我中国人了，我这个来推荐一下我的那个家乡河南。
But it's not just a mere social media sensation. Beyond his linguistic proficiency, he's also a keen practitioner of Chinese kung fu and calligraphy. And more importantly, he specializes in acupuncture at Henan University of Traditional Chinese Medicine in central China. Joe also works with Hunan's cultural tourism authorities. He wants to contribute to the preservation of Chinese traditional medicine and promote Chinese culture globally on social media. China's traditional culture has had a profound impact on Joe. He feels that he now has a duty to share his knowledge with his friends and relatives abroad. All right, Joe, welcome to our program on CGTN. It's great to see you after seeing so many of your videos on Douyin. You're doing fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. Nice seeing you too.
So this year is special, right? Because we're celebrating a very unique animal, or if we can call it an animal at all, or rather a totem. What do you think the dragon signifies in your understanding?
It stands for all the good qualities, flexibility of strength, can swim in the sea, it can fly in the sky.
And it's amazing that you speak Chinese, and it's even more amazing that you speak the Henan dialect. Do you want to say anything to our viewers on this occasion of the Lunar New Year in Henan dialect, maybe?
For sure. I think actually, like speaking the local dialect is normal for someone if you live in a place for many years. In Henan dialect, I would say 老乡们好，祝大家龙年吉祥。
Wow. That's amazing, man. You also practice Chinese calligraphy and kung fu?
Calligraphy is maybe more like a hobby, just like something I do to it helps you to calm down your mind, to get focused. But yeah, I've been practicing kung fu since I was maybe 11 years old, I think.
Very good. And then born with the British and German heritage. How do you think this mixed heritage has affected your outlook on culture and on values, and then on being, an expat living in China?
For me, actually, I think all humans are the same. All cultures are just expressions, like different expressions of our perception of this reality, of this world. Yeah, maybe it also has to do with my experience growing up with different cultural backgrounds.
So, Joe, you're studying acupuncture.
Yeah.
What led you to choose this field and this practice?
Actually, my bachelor's major was Chinese medicine. Actually, Chinese medicine and acupuncture, they are actually the same. Chinese medicine is not only medicine, it's also kind of philosophy. It actually helps me to understand the many concepts of our world better. Like, because Chinese medicine is I would say, integrated wisdom. Like, Chinese medicine doesn't really separate, for example, the universe, our environment, our society with our body and our mind. Like, everything is supposed to be is the same, like is part of the same big whole thing. Of course, like another aspect is like the healing effects of Chinese medicine, which are obvious. So I've always been interested, like, how can you have these treating effects without using any chemical medicine? And like, I think it's green, it's cheap. Like for example, acupuncture, you can only, like, with only one needle, you can cure an ailment. If you would use Western medicine, maybe you would have to take a lot of like chemical drugs and
ibuprofen and stuff. Finally, do you want to say anything, any New Year wishes to our viewers around the world?
So I hope you all have a great year of the dragon. And also, I think we've been speaking about, like, now for many European countries, it's like there's a a free visa policy now. If you have time, come and travel to China. 新年快乐，天天健康。
As we're celebrating the Lunar New Year, it's a sure thing that we're going to eat a whole lot of food, but don't forget to do some stay-at-home exercises. It's simple, but it can be very effective, right?
Yeah.
Coach Haidt?
Of course.
Do you want to give us some tips?
Sure.
Shall we do this try?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Squat and lunge. Squat and back again. Change side. Lunge. Next one.
Okay.
What else can we do? High knees. 2, 1, go. Keep your hands in front. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right. Then open up. We do sumo squat. Okay. Gonna go down on your toes. Bring it back. Up. Down. Calf raise. One more.
Ooh,
Okay.
this one is a bit challenging, huh?
Yes. Well, let's do inchworm.
It's a good workout.
Can walk forward,
Yeah.
down, here, and up. If you want, you can add a push-up. Let's do a push-up too.
Let's do a push-up.
Push-up. Back. And last one, we can do abs. The one,
Sure.
bicycle kicks. Here. Okay. Go. Side to side. All right. Almost single squat for
Very
you.
good, my friend. Very good. We're going to eat a whole lot during the Lunar New Year. Lots of food on the table. Don't forget to work out if you can. I'm catching on my breath. I can't believe it. All right. So we have a couplet, right? Okay. This says 一起. What is it, Kate?
一起锻炼，一起改变。
What does it mean?
Train together, change together, but for F45, that team training life changing. It's always better with people around.
Yeah, you get motivated the way you yourself working out alone could not.
Yeah.
Very good. Do you want to say anything directly to our viewers watching this show on CGTN about the Lunar New Year? Any message to them?
I'm wishing you all a happy new year, happy new year of dragon, and just if you have any dreams, never give up, go follow. If you have new year resolutions, just make sure that you do what you promise yourself to do.